Hello everyone and welcome back to Always Watching. Today I'm continuing my coverage of the Tribeca Film Festival with the documentary Natchez. And this is easily one of the best documentaries I've seen. This is an incredibly deep and candid film about a small town in Mississippi. The documentary unpacks the history of Natchez through its abundance of antebellum homes. These homes offer an opportunity to compare life before and after the Civil War in order to assess just how far America has come and how much further it still has left to go. I was extremely impressed by how these filmmakers were able to act as a fly on the wall. The documentary follows a number of residents in this town, and the longer the documentary goes on for, the more candid they become, almost to their detriment. They have people saying things on camera with such ease in plain sight. Natchez is a very unique town in the South. It demonstrates both the country's potential for change and its propensity for violence. These antebellum homes, they're so beautiful, and the way the movie is shot, it's almost like a fairy tale. Everything looks so peaceful and calm, but each home is masking a very dark history. Throughout the documentary, we follow a number of tour guides. Each guide offers a different take on the town's history. In addition to the tour guides, we also follow a number of local residents who explain how their perception of Southern culture has changed over time. One woman in the documentary describes how she dreamed of becoming a Southern belle. However, the more she learned, the less she wanted to do with it. A lot of these residents almost fetishize the pre-Civil War era as a time of tranquility and order. So many of these residents really struggle with facing the town's brutal history because it means coming to terms with their own experiences or re-examining their experiences. If you have grown up with a set of beliefs and values you later discover were extremely harmful to a lot of people, what does that do to your sense of self? From what I gathered, there were two camps. The first that reminisce and romanticize about the past, and the second that really want to acknowledge it and call it out for what it is. And America's origin story is very dark. So much of America's wealth was built on the backs of slaves. When you look at how much progress this town has made, it makes you feel very optimistic. However, you're also concerned because the same milestones have not been achieved in towns and cities in the same area. Everyone in this town is very aware of their history. Where there is conflict is how this history should be retold. As the documentary goes on, each participant not only gets more comfortable speaking about the town and their opinion about the pre-Civil War era, but they also get really comfortable speaking about other residents in this town. And these are obviously not thoughts they would ever express to each other. Culturally, they're taught to be very polite. However, the whole thing feels very passive-aggressive. You live in a town where everyone has really mastered the art of putting on a great front. And even though you know what's underneath it, you can't really call it out. And all you can do to fight back is really stay grounded and continue in your mission, whether it be tour guides, whether it be buying up these old homes. I thought what made this documentary very unique is the contrast between different tour guides, because each guide is taking their group through areas a lot of residents feel should be off limits to outsiders. And you get the sense that each guide is competing with each other. And each of these old homes have become museums. And depending on who owns these homes or who is giving the tour, these spaces can be very safe and educational, an opportunity for people to really learn more and ask questions, or they can be an environment to preserve a nightmare and keep the evil alive. Overall, I thought this was, so far from what I've seen, this is easily the best documentary. And I really hope it gets distribution. The amount of work that these filmmakers put in and the way they're able to really build on each participant and the way they're able to extract these very vulnerable moments, I thought was very exceptional. And so you guys let me know what you think, and until next time.